My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So, you know, a lot of people are going around saying Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. Doctor Who is dead or dying. Star Trek is dead. And look, we've had some really preposterously awful announcements from all of them very recently. That is true, right? I mean, when you Kurtzman Trek series, I will tell you. Firstly, I would suggest living in the moment. But the reason why I am somewhat optimistic, I just replied to a comment on. Please comment by the way on these videos. I endeavour to. I'm a few days behind, but I'm replying to everybody now. But I was just replying to a comment, you know, when he said, "Yeah, Doctor, once you kill something, you can't bring him back to life." Well, look, okay, this is my own theological worldview. I am not imposing on you. I'm just explaining to you why I'm more optimistic than most, right? Because I think dead things come back to life. I believe in resurrection. I believe it on a theological level. I believe it on a physical level. I believe it on a metaphysical level. I think every year we look around, you look outside, you see your trees die. They look like they're dead. They look like they're dying and decaying. And then around this time of year, we see them come back to life. They bloom into life. And I know it's a very simplistic example, but I'm telling you, this is just my worldview, mate. I think what is dead can come back to life again. I think death and life are in the purpose of God. And again, if you don't believe in God, that's groovy, okay? I like listening to other people, people with other ideas of reality to me. I really do. I'm fascinated by it, right? And I think that makes you into a stronger, better person. That's it. Again, not trying to convince you to do freaking anything at all, right? I'm really genuinely not. But I think, I think if we get good Star Trek or good Star Wars or good Doctor Who, that's good and being very much it comes back to life again. I think we saw that with Mandalorian during the first season. I still like it, right? I like the third season, even though it's the Mandalorian, right? It's all Katie Sackhoff. Frankly, I prefer Katie Sackhoff to Pedro Pascal, and even though I see, yes, it is part of some. I call it feminist fragility, right? Kathleen Kennedy is a big feminist, but they're also very fragile. All these women are very, very, very fragile, and they got to be the bestest ever and the only good people on the screen. I just see, an expression. However, it seems to be done in a way that I've enjoyed the entertainment value of it. You're on a knife edge when you're doing this, and you need a lot of talent to be able to pull it off. And Jon Favreau, a lot of time hasn't. Will Rossley Davis? I don't know, right? The bifurcation point for society is drag now, right? Drag is the point where we go, oh yes, we got to have lots of kids interact with that. If we're not, we're bigots, and parents go, get the fuck away from my kids, you pervert scum. Well, not really, but it's like, that is the bifurcation of society, right? Which is where we are. I'm seeing this thing. Things that say that there's the public is not putting up with anymore. Anheuser-Busch has lost about 5-6 billion since embracing this. Again, if that's your worldview, that's fine. But a lot of people, it isn't, right? Mario did very well. I think Lego just got a massive implosion for doing exactly the same thing as Anheuser-Busch with Bud Light. I just don't think there's any real tolerance for it anymore. But my point was this: I'm going around and so that what was dead came back to life. What came back to life now? Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, back and better than ever. Because look, I think Donald Trump's gonna be the next president. Quite frankly, I know that's an absolutely insane thing to say, right? An absolutely insane thing to say. But again, it all goes back to me believing in God, right? I think God wants Trump to do a few things, right? And I think if God wanted Trump off the off the stage, he would be off the stage. Certainly, it defies all imagination that he's the front runner massively for the Republican nomination. Like, no one's even close. Everybody else is running to be in his cabinet right now. And almost certainly, it looks like it's all about ballot harvesting, and the Republican ballot harvesting now outstrips the Democrat one. Maybe, if they're using the churches, which I think they are. So look, it's nothing to do with who's the better candidate. What's better, what's worse, right? It's to do with how to game the system, how to cheat, in other words. I don't want to say cheat, but I think the Democrats game the system and maybe cheated a bit. I don't know. In the last election, I think the Republicans, which are really the Trump party, the MAGA party now, are giving it better. That's what I think it's going to be, right? I really do think that's what's going. But Trump derangement syndrome is back. And it's delicious, nim, 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 and it's going to get worse, and it's going to get more funny, and it's going to get more intense as you see more things fail. I mean, have you seen the meltdown about the implosion of Bud Light? It's wonderful. It's really genuinely like the meltdown about Lego. It's wonderful. It's really genuinely wonderful to see because it means they're losing power. Basically, why is the Bud Light thing important? Because as long as this boycott stays in effect, it may force Anheuser-Busch, the parent company who's lost billions, but they don't really care. If they lose enough money, they're going to have to apologize, right? Which means that the other side in the culture war then becomes dominant, right? Like that, overnight, right? And that's what they're freaking out about. So Trump derangement syndrome is back. Strap in, baby. We could have a noisy few years. Hopefully it'll be quite funny all the way. And if you hated it, I'm sorry, mate. I am sorry. I always found him funny, right? Genuinely, I was never triggered by Trump. He always made me laugh. I liked the way, I liked his policies. I liked the world peace. I like the best economy. Like, that's just me for you. You may have hated all those things. I thought they were good, right? I thought they were quite good. I wouldn't mind seeing them all back in. Anyway, Trump Rangers in the back, as I said. Like, share, subscribe, comment. If you're on Rumble, please subscribe. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers on Rumble. I want to blow freaking YouTube away, right? Let's blow YouTube away because I get a lot more views on Rumble than I do on YouTube. So I want to blow freaking YouTube. Let's get up to 1,000 subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button. If you're not there, go over there, hit if you can sign up. It's in the video notes. Even if you don't watch a Rumble, that really, I know it takes you about, it's going to take you about 30 seconds to 45 seconds to do it. It helps me in a way that you cannot comprehend. So thank you very much for doing that. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are fantastic. Now, this was on a live stream. I do live stream. Basically, I do. It's a nightly show or daily show for whatever time we wherever you're on the world. Come and hang out on live stream. It's on a live stream from a few days ago. I'm behind because we had Jewish holidays, but from a few days ago. So let me head over to me from a couple of days ago. So yeah, look, this is unbelievably cool. These people are crazy. These people think that Trump was awful when everything was better, right? I hate to tell you this, but things were better when things were better, right? Things are not better now. Things are what we call worse, right? Things are definitely worse. They're not better at all, right? Everything's worse in every way, right? So, but for them, Trump is still the worst ever. So, how Crystal Robertson trumps Donald Trump as a big bad, right? This is one of the worst parts of Doctor Who for me ever. Absolutely one of the worst parts ever, where it was just a bad Trump joke that wasn't funny, right? And like shoved in your face, right? As we found out, one of the greatest presidents of all time, right? Given the comparison to the disaster that followed him. Right, I'm sorry. Metrics are the metrics, mate. Doctor has always had its finger on the pulse at times, including already having a Donald Trump figure in place by Christopher North. Chris North, yeah, but hasn't he been cancelled for beating his girlfriend or something? BBC's Doctor Who has always been ahead of its time and keeping up with it. It wasn't ahead of its time doing a Donald Trump thing. It was agonizing. It was stupid, and it failed horribly. Although Chris North was North is his name, was actually very good. I kind of like this character, right? Genuinely, I did. Donald Trump is one of the most divisive historical figures whose story hasn't yet reached its end game, but his impact on history and culture can't be denied. Okay. And back when he was still president, the series already had a character inspired by him to comment on what he was about. Not at all. In what you thought he was about in your diseased imagination, right? Meanwhile, you let the giant spider horribly die of asphyxiation because rather than be put out of his misery because it will make you feel bad, right? So it only seemed appropriate that at the same day that Trump was arrested, arraigned, and pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying. This is it. So you can write that. dude. Even CNN said this is bullshit. Okay, this is pure pathetic desperation. There is no yeah, you just did it to write that, right? That's what South Park did. Because again, I understand. I think they probably wanted to rank on the right as well as the left, so they can say they're balanced. But it's basically all just to put scenes of January 6th on film on screen again, so they could reinforce that false narrative that we know is a false narrative, right? Reinforcing it doesn't make it. Well, I guess they need to reinforce it now because they would look see through it. But anyway, and conspiracy that he alleged hush money payments to 2 women who claimed to have affairs with him at the end of his 2016 campaign. Yeah, you know, Stormy Daniels has denied having an affair with him, right? I hate to tell you. And I mean, several times. I know she claimed to have an affair with him as well. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought somebody who pays to have sex on camera wouldn't be a reliable witness? Who'd have thought, right? That's crazy. Who'd have thought that could be the case? But apparently it is. Apparently it is, as it turns out in Mrs. Daniels' case. We look at the long-running series take on Trump has appeared to have done a better job in escaping justice than Trump currently is as we speak. You are delusional. You actually, okay, I mean, what do you think is going to happen, you dumb cunt? See, okay, I get it. For Addy Tannenbaum, this is their game. They finally got him. Really? Addy, mate. Okay, honestly, I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I didn't. How many times have you thought this? Now, be honest. How many times? 16? 17? Oh, the walls are closing in. Oh, we're going to get him this time. Okay. I mean, the Georgia one stands much more of a chance, but do you honestly think America would stay together at that point? Right? No. You would have that would initiate the Civil War. That would initiate kinetic civil war, right? And it would be the end of existence for these people, right? You have no idea how good you have it, right? I mean, everything's going to get a lot more expensive a lot quickly, and you don't realize, right? It really is. Former Sex and the City, Mr. Big Chris Noth played American real estate estate hotel magnate named Jack Robertson, looking for investment opportunities in the UK, had aspirations to run for president. He was very narcissistic and utterly self-serving. Sound familiar? It sounds like your cartoonish Trump derangement syndrome view of Donald Trump, right? It really does, right? I understand that you believe it with all your heart. Oh, you believe it so much. Yes, he was a bad boy. We had world peace and the best economy of all time, right? He was, this was while ongoing coups from the FBI. Maybe you don't know about it. People just don't know about this shit. You understand that the security services tried to frame a sitting president for treason, right? For collaborating with the Russians. You understand that actually happened, right? They fabricated evidence, right? They spied on his campaign. Does none of this bother you? No, it doesn't. That's the thing. None of that. That would bother me if it was Trump. If I found out Trump was doing that against Clinton, I wouldn't support Trump, right? But therein lies the rub. People who support Trump tend to be a little bit more moral. It's just the way it is, mate. I understand people are put off by his brashness, right? But generally speaking, you find his supporters more moral than his detractors. Generally speaking, and that's again merely factual, right? Rosen appeared in 2 episodes during Chris Geordie Whittaker's run. How'd that go? How'd that run go? Was it good? Right? Did it work out well? No, it didn't, did it? I'm sorry. Maybe because of this bullshit. Do you think? Maybe. Do you think it might be connected? Do you really? I think it might be, mate. I think it might be. Yeah. People don't like this kind of bullshit. Okay, people do not like that. Where are we up to? Totally lost my place again. Fine, we're over there and we're over here. Fine. It was investing in major new hotel in Arachne, UK. It turned out to be a house of a giant spider and its offspring. The horror was gentrification and corporate takeovers. His next appearance. By the way, just in contrary to this insanity, everybody who works for him says he's one of the greatest bosses ever. Normally, they're like, yeah, he's like, you do get, they're going after everybody's work for him right now, right? The Justice Department, was, they go after people who work for him and they like find whatever charges they can get anybody on and say, look, we can make all this go away if you start talking about Trump, right? It's like, it's crazy how hard they're going after him, right? I hope he wins. I hope he wins. I hope he smashes all of them into pieces, frankly. Not figuratively, obviously, but I hope, what I really love to see? I would love to see them do the same things to the corrupt politicians they do to the drug dealers, like the drug barons, and garnish their property, take away all their money, right? Take away their property. Do that, right? Oh, that would be awesome. It'll be awesome to see Barack Obama's beachfront property in Martha's Vineyard go up for sale, right? Maybe we can put some of the homeless there. He was horror gentrification and corporate takeover. His next appearance on the second New Year's special, Revolution of the Dalek, where he invested in and manufactured new Daleks and sold them as to a complacent prime minister as a new policing tool. This, really, how much more political can you get? This resulted in record low ratings. Daleks running amok, killing the prime minister, which tends to be a regular occurrence in Doctor Who, and probably one bit of wish fulfillment on the part of many British people. Okay. The show was had the uncanny ability to put its finger on the pulse. Darling. Please, may I demonstrate, right? May I demonstrate? No, it didn't, right? Let's be clear. No, it absolutely didn't. Where's the ratings? Let's pull this up. Seasons 11. There we go. There we go. Yeah. There's from Revolution of the Dalek was, where was it? All from 55, Spyfall. Revolution of the Dalek. Yeah, one of the all-time lows, right? It was actually it did quite good for the time. I think that was, you got 6.35 there, right? You had Captain Jack and you had Daleks, but like, man, and then vow, straight down it goes. That's not called a success, idiot. So if he had a finger on the pulse, then he wouldn't have lost all his viewers. I mean, like, reality, right? Where are we up to? Robertson, 1 second. The Doctor of Dalek running amok on the show. I think I'm kind of put its finger on the pulse. Robertson proceeds to kiss the invading Dalek's ass and sell out the Doctor. Can I just remind you, right? You think his fingers on it's pleasing Trump-obsessed nutballs like you who can't deal with being wrong. That's the bottom line. You just can't deal with being wrong, right? And you were wrong. Fuckface, you are wrong. Your ideas on politics have failed. Very openly, very viscerally, right? You were wrong. So coming, really? Again, don't you remember when Trump was around and things were good? Yeah, that was good then. So here's the thing. This is why the ratings are this, right? And you think there's fingers on the pulse because it pleases people like you, and you are in the tiny minority. That's just you're in this teeny tiny minority, and that's why you have the dislike button taken out, right? Dislikes taken out, right? Because you can't stand to see you're in the teeny minority. So Roberts had the uncanny ability to fail upward. Well, that was Trump. After each business failure, again, sound familiar? He turned both PR problems into net positives. Oh, but what happens when they finally got his tax returns? Oh, look, turned out that he was a squeaky clean. Amazingly. That's why nobody talks about it anymore. To declare his plans to run for president. He's utterly shameless, the most self-serving move when the shit hits the fan. North captures the privilege and arrogance, narcissistic rich arsehole perfectly. You couldn't... Okay, Trump, I know you hate this. Trump is a man of the people, right? I know you go, oh, he's duped you. Oh, look at you, so stupid. You believe that. Dude, who's been duped and who hasn't, right? Right? Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, was it? Right? Was it? Did the FBI fabricate evidence to frame the sitting president for treason? That happened? I'm afraid it did, mate. Afraid it did, didn't it? Right? There's so many things we can point to. Right? You've been wrong about freaking everything, right? January 6th. Oh, that the insurrection, was it? Why did you disingenuously not release the footage then? Why did it have to be forced out of you? See, now they hear you go, oh, look, you just go blah, 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 blah. Because that when you hit facts and reason with them, their brain shuts down, right? They cannot respond. Fine. So, but I mean, the bottom line, like, who went to East Palestine and brought Big Macs with them? More than I could bloody get here in Jerusalem, right? Like, who did that? That was Trump, not Biden, not any of your elitist cunts, right? Again, the reason why you think his finger is on the pulse and the ratings for this is because you are not the majority. You are a minority, right? Yes, it made people like you happy. It destroyed it for the majority, okay? The vast majority. You could even imagine that he's actually Mr. Big from Sex and the City, and this is what gets up. He gets up to when he's off screen of that show. Carrie did have a terrible taste in men in Unavailable Men. It's possible Chibnall might have wanted to bring Robertson back for one final appearance where he gets his comeuppance, and the last screenwriters think in three. Come out at last, since screenwriters think in threes. Robertson was ever going to return to Doctor Who, he would, 1, continue as he did, 2, get involved in some other scheme involving science fiction to put the world in peril, 3, get killed in the process, 4, lose his fortune as come up as 5, get killed, 6, get arrested. Okay, again, this is your Trump derangement syndrome. You're stroking yourself off, imagining it was Trump, right? To the British, getting arrested is considered a social embarrassment and a dark stain on one's reputation and character. None of this will probably happen now because the Crazy Christian Channel fucked up, did this shit, and nobody wanted it, and it failed horribly. Moron, right? Because North got his Me Too'd and thoroughly cancelled. Yes, Robertson has got probably cancelled off screen, whereas Trump, we get to see his story hit number 6. Yeah. Here's the thing: his indictment was much more an indictment of the Democrats, right? Of the political class, the political systems. It was least of all an indictment of him. But yeah, it was an indictment, right? And it's going to happen again a lot, like a time loop, endless arrests and charges. That's the kind of thing. That's kind of Doctor Who when you think about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's designed to titillate obsessed morons like you, right? Go, hey, we proved right. It's proved right. Finally, he's getting his come-up, but it's never going to happen. Here's why it's never going to happen. I hate to want to be the one to break it here. Well, here's why I think it's never going to happen. It's because I think God is real, right? And I know a lot of people out there don't, but I think God is real, right? And I think God is real for, I think, wholly rational reasons. Man, it's a discussion for another time. But I think God is real, and I think God wants to do something with Trump. And if he wanted Trump off the stage, he could have got Trump off the stage anytime. He wants Trump around, right? He wants Trump around. For what? I don't know, right? But I think the reason that he lost the election, or at least Joe Biden was inaugurated president, right? Joe Biden found enough votes to be inaugurated president somehow, was because God wanted that, right? And why would God want that? Because we've all seen what now, incontrovertibly. Now you're in delusion territory, like this guy, Bleeding Corwitz, right? You're in delusion territory that you think things are good when everything's on fire. Dude, we're living in the last minutes of the Weimar Republic, right? The thing that Germany fell, that caused the hugest recession, I think, ever, right? Much more than 1930s, you know, it's and yeah, eventually led to the rise of the Third Reich, right? It was that could absolutely could have done do the trick. I mean, actually did did trick. Are we on the brink of that now? Who knows, right? Who knows? And now Russell there was doubling down on it. It seems to be that way. I'm hoping it's not, right? Hoping it's not. Hoping as the sense not to. Russell, mate, let me tell you, you need some damage control. You need some urgent damage control. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.